There's this thing that happens with privilege that I'm going to try to describe to you through telling you a story. So, recently in my intentional community house, someone found out that black plastic kitchen utensils are often made out of recycled plastic. And recycled plastic is unstable. It sheds a lot more material because it's an amalgam of a lot of other materials. And in this house, we collectively said, wow, get all of those utensils out of here. We don't want to use them. And it is a function of our privilege that we can find out that information and that we have the resources to act on it. And we started to talk about what should we do with these extra kitchen implements that are shedding microplastics. I said, throw them away. I don't want anyone to use those. I don't want anyone to get microplastics in their body. And someone else chimed in, but there are people in this world that could really benefit from using those who can't buy them. We should give them away. And there is this moral conundrum where it's like, well, if you don't have kitchen implements, it would improve your life to have them, even if they are slowly poisoning you. This conversation comes up when we talk about factory workers sometimes, people who work in places and their labor is not well compensated. I watched a video that was made by someone who lived in a place where a factory had come in, and he said, yes, these people are working under terrible conditions, and it is also the case that their lives have been greatly improved by the ability to work and make money. And in the long term, we know it is probably hazardous to their health to do this. It is probably not humanly ethical. And yet, their lives have been improved. I would argue that most of our worldwide and countrywide racism is done in this economic way. Why does the bad part of town also tend to be the ethnic part of town? There are historical factors at play. There are historical racist factors. People who had a certain skin color were literally not allowed to live in certain places and couldn't build generational wealth. There is also a tendency that I watch in white people to give a thumbs up to people who behave more white, to include people in the professional culture, let's say the career culture, who are willing to play a white person. And the people who behave characteristically from their ethnicity, I see them being excluded. In order to really grapple with inequality, I think we need to understand these strange moral issues that come up. And the moral issue really is that someone is producing a product that is hazardous to human health by shedding microplastics. And that product should not exist. Inequality will probably always exist because we sort of live on this planet and there is a pile of soil over there and a pile of soil over there, and you cannot equalize them no matter how hard you try. But to have a minimum human standard, and especially to share things between people who have privilege and people who don't have privilege, it tends to make the things that are shared of higher quality. We talk about this with schools. If rich people have to send their kids to a public school, you can bet that that public school is going to be an amazing school because Karens are going to come out here and complain. I feel this way about the bus. The first time I got on the bus, I was like, oh, wow, people with privilege need to be riding the bus so that we can protect this service for the people that will not be listened to at the town hall. Those of us who have developed a communication style that is characteristically white, uses the right big words, and behaves logically, the truth is that we're going to be believed. And the people who don't have those words or speak with an accent, people will tend to not be listening. And this turned into kind of a ramble, but I guess it was about how nobody should make this. I am throwing this away.